about you and your brother. I haven't heard from you guys in days. I had a really bad dream. It was horrible. It was really, really sad. Please call me. I'm so worried. I love you. I love you.
What are you reporting? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ma'am? Can you hear me?
Fred Richani, we have right here via Zoom a very special guest. He is a writer, a director, an actor, and one of the stars and the creator of this horrific film in a good way, The Outwaters, currently in theaters as we speak. We're talking to Robbie Banfitch. Robbie, thank you so much for the time. How's everything going?
Everything's going swell. You forgot to mention Jersey Boy amongst the litany of Jersey Boy. No, everything's good.
Yes, fellow Jersey boy as well, New Brunswick's own, and everything else. And look, there are certainly some horrors when you leave New Jersey, not be able to get a good bagel and all that jazz. We'll talk about it, but let's talk about this film, man. The Outwaters. This is one freaky film in a good way. I think a lot of horror fans will definitely dig this. How the hell did you come up with this concept?
Concept came from the title, which came from liking the word Outlands and thinking Outwaters would be a good word, A, and film title, B. And then so images and story and ideas came from what the word Outwaters might mean. So that's where it came from. And then the film itself came from the necessity to make a film and a limited amount of resources. So I crafted the story around that problem.
Yeah, hey, didn't turn out to be a problem at all. And I mean, the visual effects were real interesting. A lot of, spoiler alert, a lot of blood. Were there any logistics, especially during this weird time we're living in with the pandemic, that were a little tough in the making of this film?
Not so much in terms of the pandemic. I do remember right before lockdown being at a Walmart and things were getting a little weird and everybody was kind of looking at each other. But no, I shot mainly before the pandemic and then well into it once people were vaccinated. So yeah, plus we were out like by ourselves. So
yeah. And I understand this takes place in the Mojave Desert. So where did you guys actually film? Was it on location? Were surrounding areas?
Yeah, on location. Bunch of different areas, a few hours outside of LA, a few different states. Just try to get some terrain that looked cool.
Casting process tough, or was it just kind of a lot of people you already have a community with?
It was easy. As close friends that I knew would be down to go to the desert and hang out, and that I knew would be fun to make a movie with, and that I knew could handle or can deliver the screams and the realness. So worked out. I have cool friends, thankfully. Talented, cool friends.
Yeah, I would imagine there were some challenges and maybe some fun, awkward moments when filming this as well. So what would you say was the most challenging or kind of awkward moment that maybe was a pain at the time in filming this film? And now you can look back and say, all right, that makes for a good story.
One of the most awkward moments, honestly, came after we were done filming the movie and I was taking pictures of everybody's eyes for these posters. It was just really, somehow it became really awkward to try to make frightened faces like in my bathroom, basically, like with this bulbous flashlight. That was literally the most awkward. And most challenging would be dealing with the wind. Like the first day, I wasn't prepared mentally for like, oh wait, like there's wind. Mm-hmm. Didn't have a windscreen.
What were like some of your early inspirations in horror? Did you always kind of lean towards that direction in terms of acting, writing, filmmaking, or did horror kind of find you as you got into this journey?
I've always been a big horror fan, starting off with the original King Kong and then Jurassic Park, Jaws, thriller, suspense. I definitely rented horror movies more than any other kind of film growing up. A lot of my first movies I made when I was in middle school and high school were horror, but I also equally love drama.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And we want to remind people as well, the Outwaters is currently playing in select theaters nationwide in US and Canada, including right here in New York, including the Great Alamo Drafthouse in Manhattan, Regal Essex 14, and Kaufman Astoria. Now, do you have time for some quick hits before we let you go?
I believe so.
All right. What's scarier, the Outwaters or trying to find a good bagel outside of New Jersey?
Trying to find a good bagel outside of New Jersey is like the worst. Well, New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, for sure. Your film is getting a lot of love, deservedly so. Mia Goth has made a number of comments about how the whole horror genre overall kind of deserves more respect. Do you feel like it's heading towards the right direction beyond just, the fan appeal and everything else, but eventually being taken more seriously by critics?
No, I mean, if Toni Collette didn't get nominated for Hereditary, they're never going to learn.
All-time favorite actor?
Might be Laura Dern.
All-time favorite horror film besides yours?
The original Candyman.
Up to this point, what would you say is your best piece of advice for success?
Specifically filmmaking success, do-it-yourself success. Go listen to audio commentaries of your favorite guerrilla-style indie films and take notes.
Why should people watch The Outwaters?
If they see the trailer and it makes them want to watch it, they should. I don't know, if it looks good to them, they should watch it.
Where can we find you online? And we know we can find The Outwaters right now in theaters, but are there any other projects or anything else we should be on the lookout for that you're allowed to talk about?
I have a new feature that'll premiere at a festival next month. It's called Tinsman Road, and it's a different story, different vibe. Look out for that, Tinsman Road, and you can follow the Outwaters on Twitter at the Outwaters. I also plan to keep the Outwaters Twitter around long after the movie comes out as a general supporting horror, supporting other big horror, indie horror. I want to keep it around and keep it as a horror Twitter.
And just one more bonus question. What did you use for the blood? And did it get overwhelming with the amount of blood you used in the whole film?
Didn't get overwhelming. I specifically used a brand that is, I think I bought them out because they don't exist anymore. But you just want to make sure your fake blood is a little bit orangey, a little bit muddy looking, and sometimes I put milk in it to make it a little cloudier. So, but yeah, the brand is no longer that I can find.
Hey, well, they certainly went out with a bang. The Outwaters in theaters now, and definitely urge everybody to check it out. New Jersey's own Robbie Banfitch. Robbie, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it and looking forward to seeing your other work.
Thank you, and long live Jersey Shore.